Hello, everybody, and welcome to Absurd Hypotheticals, the show where we overthink dumb questions so you don't have to. I'm your host, Marcus Lehner, and I'm joined here today by Chris Yee and Ben Storms. Say hi, guys.
Hey, I'm Chris Yee.
Hey, I'm Ben Storms.
So, to pull back the curtain of how our recording works just a little bit, we all record remotely, and we all record to our local computer, so we don't have to, I'm not recording the call or anything. So part of what we have to do when we set up is we have to do a sync up.
Because we have three different audio files that are separate from each other.
Right. And so what I do is I just do a quick countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we all clap. And then the clap you can see easily on the waveform, and Chris uses those to put them all together. You would think this would be very easy. But there are approximately 1 in 3 podcasters who have trouble clapping.
Okay, hold on. There's also one podcaster who is the one we've chosen to have count, who sometimes has trouble counting.
Okay, these are 2 separate issues. We'll talk about them both separately so we can put all our dirty laundry on the table.
Good call.
So, in my defense...
Well, we should point out that you are the counter, Marcus is the counter.
Yes, I do the countdown.
And I am the poor clapper.
Yes, Ben always has trouble clapping.
As the host, it is my sacred duty to do the sync countdown. And so, for whatever reason, my brain just countdowns more often to 3, 2, 1, but I do this countdown from 5. So, when I get to 3, my brain likes to kind of just do a little skip and start a new countdown, which messes up my timing between 4 and 3 or between 3 and 2. And so they're following along on my countdown.
There's always a pause between 4 and 3.
where Marcus has to sort of stop and collect himself.
Yeah, I build up the tension. Sometimes I change voices when I do it. It's a very big deal for me to switch from 4 to 3. So that's my problem, but that's a minor problem. Ben, tell me about your bigger problems.
So, okay, it's not... All right. Part of it is that Marcus has decided to... All right, so I want to clarify something about the way this process goes, is that it's not like we're okay, we're going to record, and then there's a couple seconds go by, and then Marcus starts counting. What usually happens is we say we're going to record, and then we just sit there in silence for about 20 seconds as Marcus tries to figure out what he's doing.
It's true.
And then sometimes we chit-chat. It's not just silence.
No, there's always a period of silence. What always happens is that with about 2 seconds left in that period of silence, my fucking brain goes, hey, you're thirsty. And I happen to have a stainless steel water bottle I always keep by me. And what will happen is I will pick up the water bottle, get it to my lips, and just begin to drink. And then Marcus will out of nowhere start counting down. And I have to frantically put my water bottle down in a way that does not spill it or make a, deafening sound from the water bottle hitting the table. And then get ready to clap, which is weirdly stressful.
It is kind of funny because it's just it's less about putting the water bottle down and more about you having to do fake claps as you go from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
There's also the fake. So I fake clap. As Marcus is counting, I kind of clap without making sound in front of the microphone in preparation. I have a lot of things wrong with me. I think it should be abundantly clear at this point from just having ever listened to this podcast.
He has given you warning ahead of time. That one time he was okay, Ben, are you ready? And you said yes. And then he started counting down. And in the middle of the countdown, you're just oh, fuck.
I think that time I was scratching my knee. I wasn't really paying attention. That one I will take full responsibility for. I say yes to a lot of things, Chris.
Yeah, I would like to make it clear that this is not just 2 or 3 times we make fun of Ben about. This is literally almost every time we do the countdown.
Literally every time. Actually,
I would say it's about 80% of the time.
Yeah, that's why I start the countdown from 5, so Ben has a little bit of time to collect
himself. That lets me swear quietly at 3 as I'm frantically getting my hands back together.
Oh, man. All right, so we're here to answer hypothetical questions, and this week is our special lightning round.
Yay! Woo! Lightning round 2, number 2.
Very excited, which means we're going to do, instead of just 2 or 3 questions instead of 2 questions that we go deep in depth on, we do a whole bunch of questions that we have done absolutely no preparation for.
Rapid fire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Basically, we go as far until we run out of stuff to talk about, and then we cut, and then we go to the next question. So I'm going to start us off with our very first one, what if every time you sent a text or email, it would randomly change one word?
So you can't choose which word, right?
Right.
I guess that's what random means.
Yeah, you can't just be it's always the and or the that I don't need.
I mean, there's really no way to safeguard against this.
Well, no, because here's what happens, and why I love this idea so much is that in order to reduce the chance that your message gets misinterpreted, you have to speak as like eloquently and florally as possible at all times, just filling the sentences with unnecessary like descriptors and adjectives, like you're fucking Shakespeare. Just so you don't like accidentally wind up with like a tuna sub instead of a steak sub.
Yeah, because if someone's like, hey, do you want to go to the party tomorrow? And you just want to say yes, obviously, it's going to be like,
longer answers are better.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like, do you want to go to the party tomorrow? Aardvark. No, really, yes or no?
Why, yes, indeed. Of course I would prefer very much like to. Yes, definitely. And one of those will be no, but it won't matter.
He's like, yeah, he said no once, but he said yes like 6 times.
Exactly.
So do you have to just say everything like, what if you just say everything like 3 times? Like, yes, yes, yes. And then what people get is like, yes, whale, yes.
Every sentence you have to say, or you have to say every word 3 times in every sentence.
But the problem is with the yes, yes, yes example, it doesn't actually work because if you go yes, yes, no, it sounds like you're just toying with them.
I feel like the odds of you saying no out of all the words in the English language are pretty low.
That's also true. You're going to say like,
be
yes, yes,
yes, backpack.
Right. Which might just raise more questions. You're going to have trouble explaining because words are going to get switched.
It's going to be really tough to write a resume.
I mean, at least it's just 1 per like message. It's not like the 1 per sentence.
Right.
That'd be a lot
you can
worse.
write your whole, yeah, you can write your whole resume, but the problem is what you want to write in your resume is attention to detail. And what you don't want to write is like attention to acorns.
So hypothetical resume situation. Can you game this system? What if you just put like 1-point font in white at the bottom of the page and just put like 300 words down there in the bottom line?
Just don't read the fine text.
Like, would that work? Can you game the system?
I don't
I'm gonna say
know.
no.
Yeah.
I think
Probably
it's out of
not.
the spirit of thing.
Yeah. I think that changes all your words because you're being a dick.
And also, like, no matter how many words you stick on that bottom, unless you do like a 1-point font watermark, like, there's still a decent chance it's gonna be one of your resume words.
Yeah, it's true.
There's a couple unfun solutions to the problem, but mostly you're just like, everyone who communicates with you is gonna be like, who the fuck is this person?
Right.
Actually, that might be a way to hide it. If you just curse a lot, like those string of curses, and like pull in some like old-timey like curses that don't even mean anything anymore, the weird word in there is not going to make sense anyway.
Oh, you just use lots of old-timey slang. And no one will ever know.
Perfect. Now we've solved it. Now that means we can...
I think most of the time people might not even actually notice. Like, it'll just come off as a typo because out of all the messages you send, what's the chance it's gonna change like the important word in the sentence? It's gonna just do like a random. It's gonna change like a into something else or the into something else.
What if instead of it was what you sent, if it's what you read, to make this a double question?
Oh.
If it's what you read, that's much.
If it's
more
what you
difficult.
read,
Like,
that's
imagine
really... That one gets tricky.
like you get a shopping list and it's all food. You're like, fuck.
So I feel like text there is a problem because people will definitely text you with like 1-word responses. And it's just gonna say like cantaloupe, and it's just not. That's not gonna help you.
Yeah. Are you coming? Please respond in 30 words or more.
Right. Please respond emphatically.
It's like the anti-Twitter.
Right.
Whoa, that would be a cool superhero name if you're this. But I think it's the lightning round. We gotta keep going.
Okay.
Next question. What if the moon was made of cheese?
So it'd probably freeze, right?
Yeah.
It'd become
Yeah.
like a giant frozen ball of cheese.
Yeah, I don't know how cheese does in the freezer. Is anyone frozen cheese?
I've never frozen cheese before.
So I have absolutely no like evidence to back this up. I feel like it would crack. Just like when I'm imagining frozen cheese, I feel like it would crack.
Well, if you imagine frozen anything, you imagine it'll crack.
Well, but like just like on its own, it'll get like crumbly. Also, important question that we didn't really establish: what kind of cheese is it? Is it a soft cheese? Is it a hard
I was
cheese?
imagining cheddar.
I feel like cheddar is the baseline answer, but the type of cheese definitely has an impact here.
Well, wouldn't the type of cheese the moon would be Swiss, so you still have the craters?
Oh yeah, it's got the holes.
That's a good point.
But it doesn't have holes all the way through.
Well, neither does Swiss.
Yeah, Swiss. Yeah, that's true.
So here's my thing. I'm thinking back now to I forget which episode it was, but I had done orbital mechanics for planets, and I'm making a bold assumption here that cheese is less dense than rock.
Yeah, I would guess that's true.
Just confirm that one. I still don't have internet, so I can't Google it. But given that cheese is less dense than rock, it means there's going to be less gravitational force between the Earth and the cheese moon, which means that the cheese moon is actually going to leave orbit.
It's not great.
And get shot off into space.
How does it affect us? There'll be no more tides.
Yeah,
It would make nights less romantic.
this is true.
Yeah, I don't know what the moon does for us besides the tides. There's got to be more stuff, like...
I think that's like the only thing. There's
Well,
probably
hold
more
on.
stuff.
Hold on. No, there's kind of an important thing because isn't like a decent portion of the light that is around at night reflected from the moon?
Yeah, so it'd be like really, really dark at night.
Yeah, so that's something.
Also, is it part of animal migration patterns? Do they moon it up?
I don't...
Does the lunar cycle make sense to animals?
Mm.
Oh, we didn't do
Man,
research for this.
I need Google!
Yeah, we need prep.
Oh, man. So the moon definitely flies away. Definitely is Swiss cheese. And definitely would be a crinkly, crackly mess. It might just disintegrate.
What if it shot, because it's shooting away from the Earth, what if it shot towards the sun?
Well, eventually it would no longer be frozen.
Yeah.
Oh god, I feel like that'd be disgusting.
We would get like the smelliest frickin' solar flare. It would be the first solar fart. The first solar fart across our frickin' solar system.
Man, I hope the sun is not lactose intolerant.
I can tell you this, the moon's intolerant of the sun.
That's probably a pretty safe bet.
Okay, well, the next question is, what if dinosaurs were still around?
That'd be cool.
That's the answer.
All right, moving on.
That'd be sweet. That'd be fraggin' sweet. So I mean, I think what dinosaurs being around means is that there's really just like wildlife is just that much scarier. Like camping is less of an entertaining proposition when it's like a bear is like big and scary, but like it's not that big and scary. Like it's on the same scale as I am.
I mean, would it be like the Flintstones where you have like domesticated dinosaurs and stuff?
Probably some.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
I feel like it wouldn't be quite as good as the Simpsons. Flintstones. Jesus. It's been a long week and it's only Tuesday, guys. Just cut me some flack on this one.
Hey, I'm sure that the Simpsons have a dinosaur episode.
Yeah, they probably made fun of the
They
Flintstones
do.
at some point.
I think he went back in time once.
Probably.
Yeah, I don't think you can do it Flintstone style because I don't think there's gonna be a dinosaur that's gonna let you poop in its mouth.
Probably not, no. Not more than once, at least. I think the other thing that sort of comes up with this situation is that I feel like the wildlife we currently have is not going to be quite the same because, like, that's a pretty big shift to the food chain.
Yeah, it's kind of just adding a whole another food chain to our food chain.
Right.
And just putting them together.
Yeah.
So I guess it would answer the question if evolution is, as a whole, improved species, because if our modern day birds and mice and, hawks or whatever are able to outdo the big old dumb dinosaurs, then evolution is proven, and if they all get eaten by T-Rexes, then it's like, hey, maybe it happened, but it kind of sucks.
I mean, or just evolution is a secondary force to a giant asteroid, but
What do you think dinosaur meat tastes like?
delicious.
Sounds like it'd be delicious.
I mean, in all actuality, have you ever had, like, crocodile or alligator?
I haven't.
So I have. I'd imagine it tastes kind of like that, which is basically kind of like chicken, but gamier, which kind of makes sense.
Because they are just chickens. I mean, basically just giant chickens.
Right, yeah. So I would say chicken, but gamier.
Oh, it's gonna be so dry because, like, you ever get, like, a really big piece of chicken and it's just, like, so... By the time, like, you cut it open and you just know the middle's gonna just be,
I mean, it'd probably depend on the type of dinosaur.
That's also true.
Yeah, I mean, there are smaller dinosaurs, but those aren't interesting at all.
You could, like, cube up a dinosaur. I mean, that's how we do, like cows.
Yeah, ground dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Like dinosaur burgers.
Dinosaur burgers, dinosaur steaks. Tasty dinosaur steaks.
Maybe. Maybe it's just chicken. Maybe it tastes gamey and isn't all that great.
Welcome to Absurd Hypothetical Food, our absurdly hypothetical food podcast.
Maybe savory, maybe sweet. I don't know.
we don't know. We're just going to speculate.
Once again, a great tagline for our podcast. Anyway, moving on.
I now want to start a second podcast where we just watch the Food Network and speculate whether the shit's any good or not.
All stuff on the Food Network looks good.
This is true.
Yeah, but you have to actually watch them and be like, that guy dumped like a fucking pound of salt in there, that's gonna not be edible, right? Like, Gordon Ramsay has to say it's good because that's the show, but, like, it might just be bad.
Hold on. Gordon Ramsay has never wanted to say it's good.
Yeah, that's like the opposite.
That was a poor choice of celebrity chef, my friend.
You could have chosen anyone except for him.
Implying I know more than one celebrity chef.
Anyway, next question. What if everything you touch turned to gold?
Okay. Well, money's not a problem.
True.
But everything else is a problem.
Yes.
Everything else is a problem.
To go back
So
to... go ahead. Yeah.
I was going to say, so you'd probably have to be, like, naked the whole time, right? Because if your clothes turns to gold, then you can't really move around.
That's true.
Ooh. Maybe just like a tank top vest?
Yeah, I guess anywhere that needs to, like, bend. As long as that part is free, then you're good.
I have another an issue we haven't actually raised all that much in the podcast recent past, but it was more popular early on, which is the poop problem. Guys, how do you resolve that one?
How does that work? Does it turn into gold inside you, or
Oh,
what?
no, I was thinking more the wiping.
Oh, the wiping.
So it's just hands that turn things to gold.
Is it just hands?
It's gotta be just hands.
I was thinking it's everything that your skin touches.
No, let's say hands.
No,
hands is
that's
better.
Hands is this thing, because otherwise it's just gonna solidify on the way out, and you're just gonna be you're gonna cork yourself.
But that still leaves the wiping. That still hasn't been resolved. Here's the toilet paper.
They have bidets.
Oh, yeah, I guess you just use a bidet. All right,
Okay.
well, fair enough.
No.
Problem solved. Poop problem solved.
Well, no, we've established that I don't think a bidet is enough on its own to clean your butt.
Whoa,
They're
wait,
pretty
when
powerful
did we?
bidets.
When did we establish that? You're speaking for us pretty strongly here.
Marcus decided for us.
Unilaterally.
I decided, I'm unilaterally deciding for the world that you need to put a slight amount of, maybe not a lot more effort, but a little bit more effort than just the bidet to clean your buttocks.
I mean, I've never used a bidet, but I've heard that they're pretty powerful.
Yeah, I haven't either, but I can imagine. I don't know.
Full disclosure, I also haven't used the bidet.
Oh, then why are you out
Oh,
here
that's
making
good that we're
these...
talking about it then.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys, I couldn't do research for this episode.
You can go out and buy a bidet and try it out.
Hey, if this was a weekly episode, I would have gone to a nice hotel, gone to the bidet section of the bathroom, and been like,
the hotel.
Your fancy hotels, you got a hotel bar, hotel gym, got a pool, and of course the bidet room. All right, we strayed.
It's not even any toilets. It's just bidets.
Just bidets.
It's just spigots on the wall.
Okay, we've strayed pretty far from the question on this one.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I guess it's bad. I don't know. I'm kind of fixated on bidets right now. Like your phone's gold now? I don't know, guys.
This entire question, I've literally had my hands up, like not wanting to touch anything, like just because we've been talking about it.
What if I have this power? You never know.
I have a better question than that, Chris, and my question is, what if all disagreements were solved with rock, paper, scissors?
When we say solved or resolved, I got confused. I think he said resolved right there, but it says solved on the thing we're looking at. So like how solved? How solved are we talking here? If, say, there were two countries...
Yeah, if two countries are at war, then they have, like, rock, paper, scissors representatives or something.
Right.
They just do the rock, paper, scissors, and whoever wins has to... whoever loses has to concede.
What I think war isn't decided like, you don't go to a room to somebody and be like, hey, I'm going to war with you.
Yeah, you just fight.
And then you punch each other. That's not how you fight. Wars are like the territory controlled by the troops. So it's going to be much grander and more granular than that.
So what you're saying...
You're going to have people running out of the trenches with their fists raised.
So what you're saying happens is SEAL Team 6 rolls up on Osama bin Laden's compound, sneaks inside, wakes him up quietly, and then does rock, paper, scissors at him.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
It's gonna be like the old timey Revolutionary War where people just line up and like shoot at each other in like the open, except you're just gonna like send like Red Rover style send people over with like rock paper scissors duels.
And it'd be a rocks, paper, scissors, shoot. Everyone's gonna shoot, but they're not gonna shoot guns. They're gonna shoot.
What? Okay, so hypothetical. What if you are going to rock, paper, scissors with someone, and they say that you go rock, paper, scissors, shoot, and you say you go rock, paper, scissors and just throw there. How do you resolve that?
You see, I'm not even going to get to that point because what I do is rock, paper, scissors, and shoe was
What?
how I learned it growing up. So, yeah.
And shoot.
Yeah,
And
look,
shoot.
I am in the 1%. I am in the 1%.
That throws the rhythm all off. That doesn't work.
That's no.
It's rock, paper, scissors, and shoe. Yeah, that's what I do.
This is like an eat, shoots, and leaves situation.
I mean, that's just how I did it. Like, I don't know why I learned the wrong way. Like,
That is
I could blame
bizarre.
my schooling, I guess.
I have
I
never
could
heard
blame
that
maybe
before.
my parents.
Yeah. Wow.
The problem is too, because I think it might have been a local thing, because I didn't know it was wrong until like I was in Boston and like out to college. So it might be like a local thing, but I also just might have not done rock, paper, scissors very often in high school because it wasn't super cool to do.
The thing is, if you say and shoot, it implies that all four things are connected to each other and you're including all of them. But you don't. You only choose one.
That's true.
Yeah, so, well, here's the real problem. Here's the real problem with rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors is designed to be just a very quick way to decide something with the coin flip, without a coin. But if you have to spend the 10 seconds it takes to be like, do you do end shoe or just shoe? And then if you fuck it up once, like you're already way past the point where it was convenient. And it has no longer served its original
You
purpose.
could have found a bank in this time.
And got a quarter.
Yeah.
Well, we moved away from
Right. Yes.
resolving disagreements to just disagreeing with rock, paper, scissors as an entity in our society.
Right.
I like the idea of like the legal system
Yeah.
being solved.
The legal
Oh,
system is
yeah.
very efficient. It's just really nice.
Political debates. All laws
Yeah,
and
all
everything. Just,
elections.
Oh, wait. Yeah. Elections.
Senate is just like,
So it would really just be like a toss-up. Like anyone can be president.
Well, I think the way that elections work is basically you have a similar delegate system, but instead of just like whoever has the most number of delegates wins, that is your like squad for rock, paper, scissors, and whoever has like the last one left.
So it's just a
oh my
numbers
god,
game.
it's amazing.
You have your like rock, paper, scissors army.
Yeah, so like you can have, you could get, 80% of them, but if there's one dude on the other side that has like a real good string right there, you're gonna start sweating and pulling your collar a little bit.
Yeah, he's got like that 95% rock streak going, but you just know you're gonna get hit by that 5%, and he always throws scissors when he doesn't throw rocks.
Always.
So you can throw rock, but then he just knows then he's onto you, and then you're just in there.
Have you ever seen like those professional rocks, paper, scissors competitions?
It's absurd.
I have read a book on it. When I was at an Airbnb, there was a book
yeah.
on the shelf, the official strategy guide.
Yeah, they have a pretty intense strategy. It's like a huge mind game.
This book was definitely trolling because, like, it started off like, oh yeah, this is like some dude who's super into it, and it's like, this is his passion project. And while I don't personally understand what the hell he's saying, there's some things to it. Like he's talking about profiling people based on like how aggressive their personality might be, what they might throw. But then further on in the book, there's an entire section about what to do if your opponent's actually psychic. Where it recommends you think over and over again a different thing that you're going to throw, and then throw the one that beats the thing that beats that one. But it makes sure to stop, and new paragraph, recommend that you don't do this on every match. Don't hedge that everyone's psychic, because if you keep thinking paper, 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 you might accidentally actually throw paper when you don't want to.
Okay.
So it gets
yeah.
It gets intense, assuming there is literally one psychic that exists.
I mean, that first thing that you said sounded legitimate. It sounds like that could actually work. But then the second thing just completely, it's like a joke book.
Oh, the second thing I remember for this book that I do have to share. The very last thing in the book is like, hey, if you want to contact us and become a member of our, official rock, paper, scissors society, send us your information and we'll send you a little index, little business card or membership card. And what this membership card entitles you to do is whenever you play a game of rock, paper, scissors against somebody who is not a member, you can whip out your membership card. And you get to decide how many rounds of rock, paper, scissors you're going to do to decide the outcome of this rock, paper, scissors. So I can imagine now you're in real life in a courtroom and you have done a bad crime. And you go up to, the judge and you're like, look, there's evidence one way, there's evidence the other way. It's about 50-50. Why don't we rock, paper, scissors for it? And for some reason he says yes. And you're like, shweek, whip out my card. 30,000 rounds of rock, paper, scissors. You're never going to get there. You're off scot-free. You'll just be, pending litigation your whole life.
But do you have to be nonstop rock, paper, scissors for that?
I think there's room for breaks. I haven't checked the official rules, but I imagine there might be some stipulations if you rock, paper, scissors has gone on too long. Well, that's enough for rock, paper, scissors.
We talked a lot about that.
I have exhausted everything I know about rock, paper, scissors. And now to exhaust everything I know about knees and elbows, because our question is, what if you had no knees or elbows and all your limbs were always rigid straight? So another hobby of mine is I design board games. And one of my board games is a dexterity game called The Enabled, where you have to do things like you can't bend your elbows, or you have T-Rex arms, or you're standing on one leg and you're trying to play the game while doing all these things. The thing about the limbs, your arms being straight, an important factor is that you cannot touch your face.
Yeah, you can't reach your mouth.
Yeah.
And it's like not even particularly close. Your arms are like a foot and a half away.
So you can't, you can still eat stuff. You just have to, you can't use your hands to eat stuff.
Unless you, like, drop it in.
Or you just, like, smash your head onto the table.
Yeah, it's probably going to be better.
Or you order, like, an 18-inch Subway sandwich.
And eat the bottom 2 inches.
Or you eat the bottom 2 inches.
Or you get a really, really long fork.
Right.
Yeah, just like a comical spoon ladle, and you just, like, hold it straight up and just, like, slurp it.
Yeah, you exclusively eat spaghetti that you dangle down to your mouth and drop in and then slurp up.
Or you just have, like, an eating partner and you feed each other.
Oh, that's the weirdest mental image. I'm not happy about this.
Yeah, my gut reaction of eating partner was no. Just don't want that. Gonna not try to imagine that one in my brain.
Too late for me. Save yourself.
It's also not that convenient, like, if you ever do, like, the cutesy couple thing where you, like, feed each other, sometimes it's just inconvenient. And I think that when it's inconvenient and awkward is when you're, like, you're reaching too far.
Right. And that would be always in this situation.
So that's the arms.
So the legs,
what about the legs?
Legs, number one problem's gonna be driving.
I was going to say stairs.
Driving. I don't think driving would be that hard.
I think stairs are worse. I don't think you can do stairs.
Yeah, stairs would be pretty difficult.
Now I'm like trying to imagine it. I guess you could.
It's hard to imagine.
I think you waddle.
I think you can, like, you have to put your leg on, like, one side of the stair and then, like, sort of extend the other one out.
You definitely need a handrail.
Yes, yeah.
Going down, you can use gravity to get down, but going up would be a lot tougher.
You could hop.
How do
Can
you
you?
hop without knees?
It's hard to hop without knees, but you can hop a little bit.
Not a stair's worth, dude.
A downstairs worth.
I guess.
I guess upstairs is harder than downstairs. Yeah. You can always get downstairs.
Yeah.
Getting downstairs is easy and painful.
It's not a problem.
Getting the downstairs will happen one way or the other.
I think you can swivel your way up. It's just going to be very time-consuming and uncomfortable. Like most things in life with arms and legs that are always straight.
Pooping in a small public bathroom is going to be kind of funny. Or like in a stall where you don't have a lot of space to spread your legs. Because I don't know where they go.
Oh, God, wait.
The door's too close.
Typing is going to be awful. Because you have to like move back and forth like with your torso in order to change where on the keyboard your hands are.
Well, I think you have, like, shoulder movement, right? Like, we're not saying they're stuck.
I was still in, like, leg mode, so I was like, what do your legs have to do with typing?
But even if it's shoulders, so, like, I have my arms out in front of me now, as I'm sure you guys probably do too. And, like, if you have to slide your shoulders forward and backwards instead of using your elbows to type, that's gonna suck.
Yeah, that's gonna be... also your posture's gonna be fucking terrible.
Yeah.
You're gonna develop back problems that you're not gonna be able to correct with your no-limb movements. Limbo's tough.
Well, limbo's tough anyway. I'm bad at the limbo.
I won a limbo contest once.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I was, I don't know how I did it because I'm not very good at limbo, but I apparently could get drunk enough to do limbo. I was on vacation and we were on a boat.
That makes you better at it?
Yeah, I was actually like, like when you can like limbo and like the good limboers, like they like their knees kind of like spread out in like a V shape on either side,
yep.
And they get like real low that way. I was doing that, but like successfully. And I beat all the other people on our boat and won a bottle of champagne on our vacation cruise. So the competition wasn't super, super duper fierce, but it was pretty fucking low. It was pretty low.
It was low enough for you to feel like you can brag about it.
Yeah. And I always brag very loudly, which brings us into our next lightning round question, which is, what if you could only shout? You could not talk any quieter than just like a full-throated yell.
So like you're the loudest you can yell?
The loudest you can loud.
Important clarification. Is this everyone or just you?
I think it's just
I feel like both are interesting.
Yeah, just you. So let's start with just
If it's just you, your career options are very limited.
And not even so much for what jobs you could do, but which jobs you could succeed in an interview for.
Right, exactly. It would have to be, you have to work in like a machine shop or...
Yeah, like construction. or as a auctioneer.
Oh.
Do they yell? I mean, they don't really yell though. They have a microphone.
But you don't need one. That saves costs.
That's the savings right there. Jobs you'd be hilariously bad at.
Preschool teacher.
Preschool teacher. Those kids will hate you.
You could be a drill instructor.
Oh yeah, you could be a drill instructor. That's a good one.
Spy is bad.
Spy is pretty bad.
Ninja, not great. I guess you don't have to talk if you're a ninja. You could be totally silent.
Yeah, maybe ninja's actually the best job. Actually, wait, no. Best job for you. Mime.
It's going to be very off-putting people who know you like in your private life compared to your miming life.
Just do an end around the whole problem. Mime it up.
Just always wear mime makeup so people don't like question you.
Do you think mimes when they get home from the day are like, oh, thank God, and like just start talking up a storm? And like the people who live with them are just like, oh my God, please stop.
I really wish he'd bring his work home with him.
Like, how many hours a day do you think a mime actually mimes? I feel like their shows aren't that long. It's just like an hour.
Well, I think I think miming you do in like the park for like 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, I guess they're street performers.
Yeah, they're street performers mostly. I mean, I don't know if I guess there might be official mime shows. Like, can you go see like a professional mime?
Like a Vegas mime show?
I imagine so.
I would almost go to the most successful mime and see what that's about. That might be cool, actually.
That would be cool, I think.
Well, guess you ran out of stuff on that one, huh?
Mimes.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, we're trying to do the mime version of the podcast. All right, well, while I stop and look up to see if there are any mime shows showing in my area, I'm going to let you listeners listen to a few of the ads we got this week.
This week's ads can't come to the phone right now. Please leave a message after the beep. 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 Beep.
Welcome back, everybody. We're going to dive right back into our lightning fast lightning round. Whoosh! I think we may be under-delivering on how fast I say it is, guys.
Yeah.
So, what if you had 9 lives?
That was pretty fast.
That's pretty fast.
Yeah, guys, what if you had 9 lives? I think I did that.
For those of you who can't interpret his fastness, what if you had 9 lives?
I like how I understood, like... When Chris said that, I thought that was like an unrelated thing. Like, for those of you who can't understand Marcus, like, turn up your audio, but it's like, what if you had 9 lives also? Just, like, let me know.
So, the interesting thing with this to me is that I was honestly trying to figure out how much it changes things.
I mean, I think in the beginning, you'd be less careful about your life, right?
Right.
Like, you take more risks.
Yeah, there's probably be things that are, like, worth a life.
Like, if you can get super rich... but you have to die. But you have 8 more lives, so it's fine.
What happens? How does life insurance work? Is it like lives insurance, and it's only for once you run out of lives entirely? It must be.
We're saying, what if you had 9? I don't think this is a worldwide thing. I think this is just you.
Oh, I don't know why I keep interpreting these as worldwide. That would make more sense.
I like this one worldwide. Let's keep it on the
we can do it
worldwide
worldwide.
train. Do wars take 9 times as long?
Oh, that's a good question.
Like you do your surprise attack on the trenches over in Whateverville, and you get them good. You like, minimal casualties, you wipe out their force, and you're like, heck yeah, and you go home and rest. And the next morning, it's like, oh, there they are again, and now they know my plan. It's like, yeah, we got you down to 8, buddies. Bring it on. Next week, I guess. Look, we'll be here for a while. So you guys want to like get one of those like fancy wartime soccer leagues going that everyone always talks about afterwards?
Yeah, we kind of ran out fast on that one, huh?
It's kind of, murderers are gonna have a tougher time.
That's true.
Yeah. And an easier time because they don't die as easily.
Well, murderers don't care about getting killed themselves. They care about killing somebody else.
That raises the question: how does like prison work?
Like the death penalty.
And like what is a lifetime sentence now?
Is it a 9 lifetime sentence?
Right.
Well, now they can finally enforce the 5 consecutive life sentences that they give to some people.
Right. Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah, so I guess a lifetime sentence would just be you live out your first life, and you die of old age or whatever, and then you're good. You're out.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think it's just gonna be a lot less murder crimes because there's like no point to it anymore. First, you gotta find out if they're on their last life.
Yeah, there's
Like,
no way
that's
to
the only time
there's
it
no way to
works.
know that though. Like, what if you forget what life you're on?
Oh, that's bad.
Oh, man.
That's
It is bad.
real bad. It's like, wow, there was that time in 63 where I got shot, but then like, and then later on in 95, I got hit by the bus.
Well, wait. Also, hold on. I have a wrinkle for you guys. So theoretically, any of us could just die in our sleep at any time. So what if you did that and didn't know?
Ooh.
And you thought you were on life 7 still, but actually you were on the last one. Or I guess, death 7.
And then you're like, do some dramatic thing, like a movie moment where you're like, it's okay, I'll take the bullet, I still have 2 lives. And then you die. And it's just like, shit, I wasn't that committed.
Right.
Yeah, like movies? If you're filming like a movie, or will there be
Everyone's
like
always on their last life.
stunt?
Except
will,
for the side
will there be like
characters.
stunt dyers?
Oh.
Like you can sell one of your lives to film a movie.
I don't think they need to kill people to make a movie. They don't even need to punch people anymore to make
They don't
movies.
need to, but if you have the ability to, then
You can punch actors too, Chris. They just don't do it.
Yeah, they do it sometimes. Not always
Like-
intentionally.
Yeah, so like, I guess, does it happen by accident?
like whenever they make a Mission Impossible movie, they always advertise that Tom Cruise does his own stunts.
Right.
But like now, if a character dies, they can advertise that he actually died.
Like, what if you're filming a movie and you have one of these fake punches and the actor accidentally punches the actual dude and now the actor has a black eye? Do you have to like stop filming for like 3 weeks, or do you like put it in the digital department to like Photoshop it out at the cost of like hours and hours and hours?
Well, that happened, and when they were filming Blade Runner 2049, there's a scene where Harrison Ford and Ryan Gosling fight, and Harrison Ford accidentally punched Ryan Gosling in the face. There's a wonderful freeze frame of it, and it's so great.
It's pretty funny.
It's so good. There's just a shot of like Ryan Gosling just looking absolutely shocked, and also like he just got punched in the face, and Harrison Ford just looking mortified. Harrison Ford's face might actually be funnier than Ryan Gosling's.
See, if it was the other way around, I'd be like, oh man, Harrison Ford got punched. But the way it is right now, I'm like, that's hilarious.
It's pretty hilarious. Yeah.
I mean, anyone who gets punched by Harrison Ford has it coming.
Yeah. I mean, it's a story you can tell.
Exactly. What were we talking about again?
I don't know, but let's talk about the next one.
Oh, 9 lives.
Nah, who cares? We're moving on. What if life was like Mario, like the video game with the red plumber who jumps on the mushrooms
It's
and breaks
me,
the blocks?
Mario.
Yes,
Me,
that one.
Mario. Hello. So we have to establish, I think, the ground rules of what this means. That if life was like
It has
Mario.
to be like a realistic version of things that are in the game.
I think one interesting aspect, to tie into our previous question, if you collect 100 coins, you get a free life.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
So now that's how you drive the economy.
Well, because now coins are actually more valuable than like anything else.
They're very valuable.
Yeah.
And while the world may start with a bunch of floating boxes all around, once everybody's like Mario and popping all of these boxes, popping all the boxes, there's going to be not a lot of boxes pretty damn soon. So it's going to be like the frickin' the Wild Wild West, where people are just like claiming territories. And it's like, you got there first, you got, that thing, and now you just live there, and it's yours just because you showed up. So that's one aspect. Second aspect, I think if you jump on an animal, it gets flat and poofs away, sometimes dropping a coin.
So it dies, but more comically than it would die right now.
Well, but the fact that they sometimes drop coins means that basically all animals are going to be hunted to extinction immediately.
Oh, yeah. Because Mario doesn't really have to eat, right? So we don't need animals for food.
Has Mario ever eaten?
Mushrooms.
He eats
But he just
mushrooms,
kinda touches
but
them.
that's not for food, really. That's just
For
it's like a
recreation.
power-up.
Oh, wait.
Speaking of mushrooms, obviously we have to address the mushrooms. So you can take a mushroom to become twice your size. Is this default like you're a 3-foot person that turns into like a 6-foot person?
Yeah.
Or are you your normal height and then you double when you get a mushroom?
I think you're normal height.
Yeah, I would say normal height.
I don't think you start as a short person.
So that's going to be kind of funny where it's like, you show up to work 12 feet tall and they're like, oh, dude, had a mushroom for breakfast, huh? And you're like, yeah, dude.
I mean, I don't like mushrooms anyway, so I guess I would never grow.
That's sad, Chris. You can't overcome your dislike of mushrooms to get bigger or to shoot fireballs or to become a ghost or to do all the other things that Mario does nowadays?
Mushrooms doesn't give you all those power-ups. It only makes you big.
Oh, I guess it's other, like flowers.
Yeah, to get fireballs, you need to eat flowers.
Oh, boy, there's a lot more flowers than mushrooms, huh?
Yeah.
Ah, so everyone's gonna... Well, I don't know what type of flower it is, but it looks like a pretty common flower.
Yeah. You don't want to fuck with florists anymore.
Oh, no, yeah. You go to a florist shop, try to rob them, and suddenly you're just fucking drowning in fireballs.
Also, I think Mario can hold his breath forever, right? Underwater?
He runs out eventually, but it takes a long time.
Yeah, only in 2D. If you're in 2D water, you're okay.
Well,
but if you're in 3D land...
Oh, right. I was thinking 2D.
However,
world.
he can, since we live in 3D world, we'll go by 3D world rules. And there, when he picks up a coin, his breath is replenished.
But in 3D rules, he doesn't gain a life after 100 coins, I don't think.
He does.
He does.
Oh, he does?
He does.
Okay, never mind.
Oh, no, he gets no, in the Super Mario 64, he gets a bonus star for collecting 100 coins. Oh, but he also gets a life, so I take it back. Yeah, he gets a life. And a star. And a gold star for doing it.
He gets just like everything.
Maybe that's how you keep track of how many lives you have, is you just hang up all the stars you get in your living room, and then every time...
Yeah, you just look at your HUD.
Oh, yeah, you're... I was like, your hood? I'm like, Mario wears a hat.
Your heads-up display.
But oh, yeah, that would be a cool part of the Mario world, besides the rampant monsters everywhere. That also, touching anything that's a living creature that you didn't just jump on would kill you, which would kind of suck.
Not ideal.
Also, mushrooms are like... They're different, because there's a mushroom that makes you big. There's a mushroom that gives you life. There are Goombas, which are technically mushrooms, so those are enemies. And there's toadstools, like toads, which are mushrooms.
Oh, yeah, and there's mushrooms that make you smaller.
There's mushrooms that make you smaller.
So
There are mushrooms, like, in the background. They're just, like, nature.
yeah, there's just fucking mushrooms around.
They're super bounty mushrooms. So mushrooms, I mean, it makes sense. It's Mushroom Kingdom.
If you had to pick a real world place to be Mushroom Kingdom, which one would it be?
Or what do you mean?
Like, is it like Brooklyn or is it like Chicago?
Why am I making this decision?
What's the Mushroom Kingdom of the world?
I don't know how to answer that.
I was kind of hoping something would just be immediately obvious, but I guess not.
It's really not. Is there like a town in Italy called Portobello? Because that seems pretty relevant.
Oh, God. Okay. This podcast going off the fucking rails. Next one. What if every cloud had an actual silver lining?
I don't actually know exactly what this would mean.
I would guess that there is like a thin layer of silver around every cloud, like actual silver.
But clouds don't have any like structural integrity. They're just condensed water, so silver would fall.
They don't yet, but now they do.
So, yeah, I think falling clouds is a thing, but clouds have to form first before they can fall, so that gets a little tricky. Let's say clouds stay up there, but have a solid silver shell.
Right.
Okay, so it's just floating silver balls.
Yep.
Well, cloud shapes. They're still cloud shapes.
Yeah.
So, yes, airplaning, not the best.
Our space program is much less effective.
Yeah, our space program's having problems. Tornadoes are a huge problem.
Oh.
What happens to silver when it like heats up?
It expands like every other material.
Well, I don't know how much like the sun would heat it up.
Oh yeah, because it's reflective. Would it?
But it's getting like direct sunlight.
Yeah.
So I've read a couple times for buildings that are curved, like they have a concave curve, that when it's sunny, like around high noon, and those curves can concentrate the sunlight. And this building had a problem because it would actually like heat the pool area that was in the middle of the fancy concave to like over 100 degrees during the daytime, and like was melting people's tires and shit that were parked there for too long.
Wow.
So the sun concentration effect of reflecting silver clouds could basically just create death heat rays that descend from the sky.
Cool. That's a
That
nice.
sounds on par with our answers.
Yeah, we haven't actually killed everyone yet, and we're like 40 something minutes into this show, so that might be a new record for us.
Yeah, but now we have to kill everyone 9 times, so...
Yeah.
So what is the silver lining of clouds having a silver lining? What's the positive here?
Would there be, like, silver miners in the sky?
But I don't think silver's even worth all that much, is it?
Not enough to go to the sky.
Yeah, I feel like the risks here way outweigh the reward.
How about this, though? Weather control. Because now you can push the clouds around. You don't like this cloud. You can just push it.
Fair enough.
Would it still rain?
That could also kill everybody.
No, we were looking for a positive, but just came back to the negative.
Yeah, that's the silver lining. Everyone dies. Moving on to our next one. What if the 5-second rule applied to everything?
So we talked about this before. Yeah, sort of what we talked about was that, like, if something fell on the ground and was not picked up within 5 seconds, it would lose whatever functionality it had. So, like, when you drop food on the ground, it's no longer food. You throw it out. It's garbage.
So, if, like, you drop a Game Boy on the ground, I don't know, I picked a Game Boy as an example, but yeah, then it just stops working after 5 seconds.
I'm just looking around my apartment right now. So I think things that are furniture don't count. Like things that are supposed to be on the floor don't count.
Yeah. No,
yeah, it's like
sense.
our lava rules and our ice rules.
Moving is going to be difficult. That's what's on my mind. Because once you disassemble your furniture, you don't really have too many places to put shit anymore.
Oh, that's true.
Well, it usually puts them to boxes. Would the boxes not work? I don't know what that means.
Well, the boxes ceases to function as a box, so everything has to fall out of the box. The thing what boxes do is hold things, so everything falls out of the box onto the floor.
All right, so
and 5 seconds later, everything in the box is now ceasing to function.
So the only way you can move is here's how you move. So you have a dump truck parked outside. And you have to lower your things into the dump truck. And when you get to your new place, you have to hoist them up like through a window, make sure you don't touch the ground, and then put them where they're going to stay forever.
That could do it. Yeah, that could be how you move. I'm trying to think of things that are hard to figure out how they're going to stop functioning. Like, what about my socks? What do my socks on my bedroom floor have? What happens to them?
I think you just go to put them on, and your toes go straight through the end.
Oh, so they become like leg warmers.
Yes,
but the worst kind.
But then once you put them down again, they just split down the middle because they're no longer leg warmers. They don't work anymore. So actually, laundry is an issue because you can't put your clothes on the floor because they're not clothes. But you can't just put them in a hamper because the hamper will stop working.
Well, I think like just in general, containers are a problem because you put almost everything in some sort of container.
Right. I guess they all have to be
and
like
if
wall
that container
mounted.
doesn't work, then everything goes on the floor.
Everything is shelves and like baskets hung from the wall.
But the shell, I guess the shelves would still work.
If they're like built into the wall.
Yeah, shells will be fine.
That's all you can do.
Hey, you know what becomes a really fun sport?
What?
Golf.
Golf.
You got 5 fucking seconds, bro. You got 5 seconds at that ball again.
Golf is just like a series of sprints.
It's like it's got to be a relay race. Like you have to hit it, and then your like golf player has to go get the ball within 5 seconds and hit it again.
Or your strategy just completely changes. You don't try to hit it far. You try to hit it a running distance that you can reach it in 5 seconds.
Yeah, golf is a survival sport, not a like score sport.
Love it. All right, golf is definitely the answer there.
Next one. What if money grew on trees?
Well, inflation is a problem.
We'd have lots of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's the question. Do you guys think deforestation will increase or decrease?
Oh. I feel like it will decrease because it'll be more like an orchard where you won't like cut down the tree. You'll just pick it.
Right.
So I guess the question...
I agree with that, yes.
So the question is... Okay, actually, here's the question. Does it replace, like, fruit on trees? Is all the fruit that used to be on trees now money?
No, I think you just have, like, separate money trees, right?
I think the leaves are now money. The leaves are now money.
Yeah, so all trees are the same, but all trees have money instead of leaves.
And you know what? Let's say the leaves fall off in the fall.
Right. Well, actually, that's really fun because if you take the leaves off early, the tree will die, and you don't want that.
Because people usually hate raking leaves, but if it's money...
Yeah, so I guess what happens now is, you know, like, how people go to watch, like, the leaves turn gold? They're gonna go do that and just be, like, stand there with, like, baskets, like, licking their lips. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, it's gonna be the new form of apple picking, but it's gonna be like no one cares about the apples anymore because there's dollar bills raining from the sky. Right. If every single leaf is $1...
How many leaves are there on, like, an average tree?
There's a lot of leaves on each tree. So I was trying to think if it was actually going to be worth like collecting the leaves, but it's so worth it for $1.
I'm quickly Googling it.
How many leaves are on a tree?
Wow. Okay, so reliable sources noted 200,000 to 500,000 leaves for a mature oak tree.
Whoa. That's way more than I thought it would be.
Yeah, me too.
Inflation is gonna be a problem.
Okay, well, now I'm seeing... Okay, well, so this is from something on... Wait, what? Okay, this is from Washington University, so I trust that more than thegrove.americangrove.org.
They're .org, though.
You gotta be able to trust the American Grove.
Okay, it looks like 200,000 is a good guess. We'll go with that.
200,000. That's still a good amount.
Yeah.
That's still a lot.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. So this is actually pretty severe inflation. So does our money lose all value?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
That's not ideal.
So then they're just like the value of leaves now.
It doesn't lose all value. It's just like it's a lot less valuable. I think Canada makes out pretty fucking good here.
Yeah, it's whatever country has the most nature.
Yeah. Actually, other crazy thing that happens. So I know this already. If you like go to someone's yard and cut down like a mature tree, you will have to pay them a bunch of money if they sue you. It's like in the tens of thousands of dollars for like each tree you cut down. That's going to get even more out of hand because like the value of a mature tree, if it is producing effectively, you know, $1 million every 5 years and you cut it down, like the value of that tree is in the millions if it's like a 40-year-old oak tree or something.
Yeah. But then $1 million isn't really anything.
That's also true. That's like 30 cents. So
economies are hard, guys.
Yeah.
Economies are very, very hard.
So we've now killed everyone once and broken the economy once, so we're on par.
I think it just circles back to the dollar bills are basically just leaves again because they're valueless.
Right, exactly.
They're just normal leaves now.
Yeah, now if you can find a normal leaf, that's worth way more than a dollar bill.
Except they're way less biodegradable.
Right. Oh, God. Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, they're made of cotton, right?
Yeah, that's not ideal.
I don't know, they're made of something that lasts. You don't want your fucking money to, like, disintegrate.
Actually, so, all right. So this is a situation where there's now just leaves that are money everywhere, or money that is leaves everywhere. I'm assuming people are just, like, picking up this money and, like, making clothes out of it, right?
Oh, that's gonna be so legit.
A money suit.
It's pretty awesome.
You know what else would be awesome, guys? What if pigs could fly?
It's a lot worse than when a bird poops on your car.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna be like, poonk.
That's, like, damaging.
I just like the idea that, like, everyone that has ever said, when pigs fly, then I'll do this thing. Now they have to do it.
Have you guys ever actually said, I'll do that when pigs fly? Or, like, use that expression as aside from just, like...
I have not. I've only heard it in TV shows.
Yeah, it's kind of me, too.
Actors are on the hook for a lot. So, keeping pigs has got to be much tougher because they just go out into the mud in the field, and now they can just wander off with their wings.
Yeah, you have to keep them in like a fully enclosed thing like they have at zoos for like birds.
Yeah, I mean they'd just be treated as like anything else that can fly that we eat.
Yeah, there's going to be a very sad image of pigs with clipped wings.
Pigs with Clipped Wings is an incredible band name. I just want to put that out there.
That is actually very good.
I wish I was starting a band.
I think I'm gonna start a band just so I can name
It's
it
really
that.
good.
Yeah, I wish 30 like other groups of people were starting bands and just requested a name from me.
Right.
That's about the level of commitment I want. Is I just want to name the band and then be like, you guys are going to be a success with that name. Moving on, I think this will be our last one for this lightning round. What if all cars were bumper cars?
So they go the speed of bumper cars, they go the speed of normal cars, and they're just
I think they have the resilience of bumper cars.
Yeah, so you can there are cars that you can just, if you crash, you just bump. Like, it's just not a big
So I
deal.
guess the real question is,
Okay.
does this make road rage better or worse?
Oh,
it
way
makes it
worse,
more fun.
way fucking worse.
But here's the problem: is that so say you get cut off, or so say you cut someone off, accidentally or whatever, and they just like ram you a little bit. You're good now, right? Like, that's what everyone wants to do in that situation. And it's like, okay, I got you, and now we're good. Like, the tension's been relieved. I think it helps things, actually.
That's not how road rage works, Ben. People don't just fucking let it go.
But I think they will if they can get a good licking on you like that.
The thing is, I think you get slammed from the back, and then you're still in front of them in their lane, and they still don't like you, and so they just keep bumping you.
Maybe that's true. And maybe you get bumped into someone else.
Also, they're not going to just wait behind you. They're just going to fucking, like... If you cut someone off, they're just going to, like, hop into your lane that you were in and try to cut you off, and it's just, like, the lane changing is going to be horrendous. Like, when you don't have to actually... Like, there's no consequences to, like, not fitting.
Will there even be lanes?
Actually, yeah, that's kind of what I was wondering, too. Is that, like, if it's standstill traffic, it's just gonna be people trying to, like, wedge themselves through, right?
I think you need lanes because if you... Is there just going to be a bunch of, like, 1,000-car pileups about people just getting wedged?
Yeah.
Like, you know when you're in bumper cars and, like, you start off and, like, you're, like, starting the corner and, like, two people in front of you crash and then someone behind crashes into you but, like, pushes you into the two people that already crashed and, like, you're against the wall and now suddenly you're just, like, kind of waiting there for everyone else to, like, move so you can, like, drive a little bit, but all they do is crash into people and, like, your whole experience is just sitting in that corner waiting for other people to not crash, like, directly adjacent to you.
Yeah, sounds like my commute.
I probably have had some deep-seated, like, bad bumper car
Yeah,
experiences.
seriously, dude. That's kind of what happens.
Depressing, yeah. It's just like, man, and then you're waiting there not doing anything, and, like, the one fucker who has, like, the whole half of the place to himself, like, goes around, loops around, full speed, and then just crashes you from touching the wall to still touching the wall. And you're like, thanks. I'm having fun.
How do you think this would affect NASCAR?
I would watch it. That's a change.
It's a pretty big change.
Well, actually, you know what? I don't know how much it actually changes it, because crashing into people is not actually that efficient when it comes to,
yeah,
like...
it's not, I guess not. Yeah, it slows you down a lot, right?
Yeah, it's safer.
Yeah, it's not a great way to win.
It's safer.
Yeah, it is safer.
So that's cool.
Movie stunts could get fucking wild.
Or
if you can just
they're really...
bump into
Or they're really
anything.
boring. Because it's just like...
Nothing ever gets destroyed in the movies.
Yeah.
They just bump off. Of
Exactly.
Yeah, there's not really too much tension anymore, huh? Oh no! Damn it!
Yeah, the reaction to every big crash is, well, that was a big one.
I'm inconvenienced and my coffee spilled.
Kind of lowers the stakes. Although I would watch the hell out of Mad Max Bumpy Road.
It's like, I'm gonna get you, no, I'm gonna get you, and then, like, circling each other, just like doing like, like it's like, ha ha.
What are other jobs with cars? Or I'm trying to think of something where, like, cars normally crash into each other and they're supposed to.
Well, like, demolition derbies aren't a thing anymore, obviously.
Yeah.
Because that's just
Those
just
are
driving
boring.
now.
There's not too many, weirdly, Chris, there's not too many careers where, you crash cars into each other very often.
Yeah, I guess not. I guess that's not what they're made for.
What about speed limits?
Speed, it would go up, right?
The thing is, yeah, now cars no longer have to be safe or even control particularly well, I guess.
You really don't need, like, a brake pedal.
Well, are there
At all.
barriers?
Well, no. You want your brake pedal.
Are there barriers,
there's still some barriers.
on the sides of all the roads?
Yeah, I think you would just leave the ones already there in the highway in place.
But, like, on, like, just, like, city roads, there's not barriers most of the time.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want people, like, careening into buildings. That's going to go badly.
Well, I mean, you can't go that fast in the city anyway. I think cities
I feel
would
like being a pedestrian... Actually, being a pedestrian becomes very
Oh,
dangerous.
yeah, it does.
Because you are not a bumper car.
And all the drivers
yeah.
are more careless now.
being a pedestrian is bad, but I think they would just start making cars to go like 200 miles an hour whenever they could, because they don't have to worry about anything about like, oh, crash test safety or, worry all that much about the grip on the road. If you can just make it fucking go fast, people are going to buy it. I imagine the 200-mile-an-hour highway going around.
That'll be absolutely terrifying.
But that's just a pipe dream living in Boston. Just a pipe dream. Speaking of pipe dreams, we have more hypothetical questions that we are going to answer next week. Such as, what if you suddenly got sent back in time? And what if everyone could fly?
Speaking of pipe dreams,
I don't know. It's kind of like hypotheticals.
Segways are hard.
And honestly, getting sent back in time and everyone could fly are both wish fulfillment type dreams, so suck it. If you have any questions, comments, or your own hypothetical idea you want us to answer, let us know. You can reach us by email at absurdhypotheticals@gmail.com, send us a tweet at absurdhype, that's HYPE hype, visit our website, www.nerdchomp.com/absurdhypotheticals, and if you enjoyed the show, don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review on iTunes. It really helps out the show and lets us keep making it for you.